get your mo.
Alright, so as you guys can see, now we officially have the Xbox Series X all basically set up. So, as you can tell, where you do see the Xbox Series X, right down here is where our Xbox Series X is actually going to stay. So, we are officially got everything set up, so this is the part 2 video. We are going to be testing out a couple different Xbox One games, Xbox 360 titles that we have on disc. But these are the first 2 games that I technically already own that are available for the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S and whatnot. So a couple of the games that we'll try, actually I got a few right down here. We will actually try Gears of War 4 and Gears of War 5 as our Xbox One titles, and then we will also try out Left 4 Dead 2 as a 360 title, and then I got to get another one, which my freaking Xbox 360 title's down here, my Xbox One X, not my Series X, and yeah, I gotta get the freaking disc out if we're going to actually be able to try everything out. And I think that's no, that's not the cord. This is the cord that we need. If I can get it plugged in. I swear something's wrong with this freaking video, or maybe I'm putting it in the wrong side. That's what it was the whole time. I was putting it freaking in the wrong way. So down here, as like you can tell, this is our current last generation consoles. Now these are both now considered as last generation consoles. So I'm gonna grab my Left 4 Dead 2 disc out right now, and we are actually going to try it out on the Xbox Series X, and so we can get a glimpse of like how our games are going to honestly really work on the Series X and whatnot. And because since I got another game up here on my shelf, we will actually try out Call of Duty, as you can tell, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and we'll actually see how well that game actually works and whatnot. But I'm going to have to go over and right over here for a quick second, and I'm going to have to grab another 360 title and then possibly an OG Xbox title. So hold that thought real quick for one quick second. And we are going to try out this game. So we already got another title. So our game that we are going to actually try out is going to be Modern Warfare 3 as well as Left 4 Dead 2. So we got 3 Xbox One games, and we have 2 360 games, and we are actually going to try out to see how well that the Series X actually ends up reading them. So first of all, we are going to start off is with the Xbox One games. We're going to try out, as you know, Gears of War 4, Gears of War 5, and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and we'll see how well that the Series X actually reads discs. So the first game we're actually going to try, and speaking of that, I do need to give you guys a little bit of a heads up of the new system. So we are officially, like, as you can see, we're on the games and games menu and all that, where it has games, apps, and groups, and then your library. It's pretty much the same thing as like the Xbox pretty much One is and Xbox One X really are. So pretty much it's really the same thing. There are some minor details that I think do help. like mostly overall, it's pretty much the same, but in like the menu sort of thing, the colors are just a slightly bit more, colorful and crisper and all that, and you would basically assume that, especially for a next generation console, and that's what normally it really comes down to. But here's the menu of like my friends and everything else, and party and all that good stuff, and then settings. It's pretty much identical and the same thing as the Xbox One. But there are a couple other details here, and right now my TV, as you can tell, it says your TV does not support 4K Ultra HD at 120 hertz. And then it also says playing games, your TV supports up to native 1080p at 120 hertz. So, 120 FPS on that part. But there is actually supposed to be a firmware update that we are supposed to get for this TV. This is actually the Sony X900H series that is supposed to take a full advantage of both the PS5 and Xbox Series X. And right now I don't have the update, but I think it's on its way. It's supposed to be coming sometime within the next week or probably 2 or whatnot. But eventually, that TV where it says support 120 hertz at 4K is going to be completely gone here before long. But as of right now, it only does 4K at 60 and 1080p at 120 FPS, which I think that's what most games are going to do when they do support higher frame rates up to 120, is most likely they'll have to lower pretty much the resolution down, and that's what you're going to have to do in order to get the smoothest, highest frame rates that you possibly can get. But other than that, there's another feature that it also has. It also has auto HDR, which is going to be really, really impressive, especially on a lot of your old Xbox 360 titles. Now, some 360 titles Microsoft has announced that won't look that good with auto HDR on them, and then there's going to be some that will, and I think, honestly, probably maybe GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption 1 are probably going to be really good looking games, especially playing in HDR for the very first time. But that's another mode that you don't have on the Xbox One or Xbox One X consoles, is the auto HDR. But the HDR10, the 4K, and the Dolby Vision you do get on the Xbox One S and Xbox One X consoles. You also do get that, and right now my TV doesn't support auto low latency mode and VRR while the time being, but Sony has come out and they have stated that in the near future firmware update that this TV gets, it will be able to support both of those features. So I'm basically taken care of. I gotta wait a little bit, but the majority of games on going to be the Series X and PlayStation 5 is most likely going to run at like 4K 60 frames a second, most likely. So it's really not a big deal when you really think about it, and the input lag on this TV is so low that this TV was pretty much meant for gaming, like, so much. I'm going to go ahead and check this one because this is supposed to help a lot of 4K problems and whatnot. And, yeah. So, I'm going to go to my games real quick. And, we'll go ahead and we're going to get ready to start up, and we are going to check out the 5 games that we currently have, and we're going to see how well they work. The first game we are going to try out in this testing out video of our Xbox Series X is literally going to be Gears of War 4. Now, I also have this game digital for when it was free with gold about several months ago. It was free for gold members one time, and it was like sometime last year. But even when you put discs in, they'll pop up and they'll have the disc icon if it's reading the disc, so we can still basically give it a shot. So we are going to basically try out our, I'm going to put this over right here real quick, and we are going to try out Gears of War 4. and this is now our first time that we are putting a disc in our Series X. So let's actually see how well that this actually works real quick. Now, let's see if it pulls it in. Alright, pulls it in perfectly. So now we got to find out and see if it actually reads. And yeah, as you guys can tell, I do have 2 games installing, Borderlands 3 and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. And Gears of War 4 has officially read. It's actually installing right now, it's saying. So that actually worked. We're actually not going to install it. But let's see how well it also ejects discs too. And ejects discs perfectly. So that was Gears of War 4 that we finally got. That worked. So that's 1 game out of the 5 that we just did. And our next game is going to be Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Now this has got 2 games because when this game was the newest Call of Duty at the time, I bought the Legacy Edition because Modern Warfare Remastered is a really remastered game. Pretty much one of the best remastered games ever made, like in general. Like the graphics look like they're completely redone from the ground up, even though it's not been remade or anything like that. Like the story still plays the exact same as it does on the original like version of it. But they really did a great job, especially on the graphics side. And that's the reason why I got this one, because I want that game and I really love the original Modern Warfare. But we're going to actually see if this actually comes up and reads also in our Xbox Series X. So now we're going to put her in. And it took it in perfect. And I'm going to actually cancel this real quick because we really aren't going to play that. I'm so glad our Assassin's Creed's a little over halfway done. And, yep, as you can tell, it actually read the disc because right here it says the Legacy Edition on the top, and it shows both games. I never did really have a problem with Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I know a lot of people really didn't like it a whole lot, but I thought it was pretty okay for the Call of Duty that it was for the time. I still played every once in a while. I was actually playing it the other day on my Xbox One X, and I kind of had a blast going back to it. And it was pretty fun. But as you can tell, it actually read in our Xbox Series X, so we're going to eject it. And eject it perfectly for this game. And our Xbox Series X is still going strong so far. But our last game we're going to be doing for Xbox One is going to be Gears 5. And if this actually works, then we're pretty much set on Xbox One games, pretty much. So let's get this game a shot out and see if it works. And still ejecting perfectly. No issues with the disk drive or anything. Games are reading so far. Everything's going good with the Series X right now. But that also doesn't mean that something can't possibly happen down the line, like a week or 2 from now. But for the disk drive, it so far looks like it's going strong. And as you can tell, Gears 5 has actually read. And it's installing right now. So, oh yeah, I forget that also reminds me. Gears 5 is a current Xbox One title that they enhanced to basically look and play better on the Series X. And when you have some of your Xbox One games that are Series X enhanced that they're doing for like patching or whatever that you currently own, this is the notification you will be getting. So if like Gears 5, it's saying there's an upgrade, so it's going to do the Series X graphics and the frame rate that's supposed to do 120 frames on the multiplayer side and 60 frames at 4K on this single player side. That's what you would honestly do. is you will hit upgrade, and it'll tell you how big that the upgrade is compared to the other size. I think it was like only like 40 something gigs or maybe 50 something on the Xbox One X, but you get an additional 20 extra gigs, and that's because you're running it on the Series X with tons of more detail. So yeah, so for Xbox One games that you currently have that Microsoft has patched and did like whatever to run on the Series X and to look better, this is the notification you will get when you put your disc in. I'm not going to install Gears of War 5, not especially on my Series X or anything right now because I don't really play it a whole lot. But if I ever do play it, I'll put it on my Xbox One X on my internal storage on the One X instead. It's really not that much different when you really look and compare from the One X and the Series X. I mean, yeah, the Series X is going to run it a lot smoother, but graphical wise, the resolution people really don't see the main difference in the resolution, so it's really not that much of a big deal, really. So if I ever want to play it, I'll most likely play it on my One X, at least for right now, until I get more storage, which won't be for quite a while. Probably sometime at the end of next year is when I'll probably get more storage for my Series X, and then also my PS5 when I get it on Thursday that is on top. But like I said, that's the notification you will get when you do get when you put your Xbox One game that Microsoft has actually did a patch for to look and play better on the Series X or Series S or whatnot. But so far that's all three of our Xbox 360 Xbox One titles. I mean that have worked. We are going to be doing our two 360 titles, which is Left 4 Dead 2 and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. And if these actually work, then so far our Series X is looking pretty good right now. So the first one we will try out is going to be Left 4 Dead 2. Now, I actually did play this game with a really close friend of mine just the other night on my current Xbox One X down there, like 2 nights ago. And I actually had a blast playing Left 4 Dead. I might actually install it on my Series X, to be honest with you. And so far it actually really took the 360 disc in perfectly too. And let's see if it reads. Yep, right there it is. It got really quiet at first, but it finally ended up reading. Like, it almost didn't make the noise like when you put a disc in, and normally it would if it's trying to read, but that just, it read like nothing. Like, it was so quiet, and it still somehow read. But, I'm going to continue. I'm not going to cancel Left 4 Dead 2, because I actually think I am going to install this game on here. I do hear that a lot of 360 titles are supposed to stay a lot more better, and they're supposed to get extra frame rates on the Series X. So if a game runs at like 30 frames, you'll be able to get it run at 60 frames. Microsoft has basically touted out for the Series X and the Series S. And then if a game runs at 60, which there wasn't that many that did, a few select that do will actually be able to perform at 120 frames on the Series X, which is really impressive if you honestly think about it, because the 360 back in the day was actually only a 30 FPS and somewhat of a 60 FPS type of console. And seeing games run at 60 to 120 FPS on a more powerful console, that's really impressive if you really ask me. But yeah, we're going to try out now our last game for the video, and we'll end the video after this. So our last game we are going to try out is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. We're going to see how well this game actually looks, or actually performs, see if it actually reads. So far, Left 4 Dead 2 has ejected perfectly, and this is going to be our last game. And so far, it insert perfectly as well. I'm probably not going to keep this game to install. We're just going to try it, and as you can tell, Modern Warfare 3 has officially read. So that is all of the 5 games that we have tested out for the Xbox Series X, and so far everything is looking really, really positive. Like, they're ejecting perfectly. The console is actually really doing really great. I did hear a lot of people were saying that the console actually does attempt to get really, really hot, but it's really actually not hot at all right now to me, but it probably could be because I haven't even really played a game yet, and my friend was playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and probably once I start that, then it's probably going to start really getting warm and whatnot because it's running its power to play the game. But yeah, so that's pretty much everything that we have showed off. And as I stated one more time, this is where all everything as a menu is basically the same thing as the Xbox One. And the one cool thing I do have to say is I think because of this, you can actually still start parties with people that still have an Xbox One, and with you having a Series S or a Series X, or if it's the other way around and you still have an Xbox One, and you know a friend that's got a Series X or a Series S, I think you could pretty much still do parties with them because of it being the same layout. But we'll start a party, and it just does like it normally does, and it says your friends are online, and it'll tell them what they're on, just like it says on the Series X. So I think basically you can still talk to your friends and party chat, whether if you or them have either an Xbox One or a Series X back and forth, which is really, really another great way of owning a Series X, because that means I can still talk to my friends and play games with my friends that still have a Xbox One. But the controller so far is actually working really great. I really am so impressed with this controller. It's like the best thing. It's the best thing ever. Like, I'm so impressed. But that pretty much does the video for the day for our testing out and showing off our Xbox Series X. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys could hit a like if you enjoyed this content. Subscribe for those of you that are new to the channel, and we will be sure to keep you guys posted with more gaming content in the future. And also, comment down below of your thoughts if you actually received your Xbox Series X, and if you are really, really happy with it, and like what are the first couple of games that you're actually going to try out. But the first couple games I'm going to try out is going to be Assassin's Creed Valhalla and Borderlands 3, and then once Call of Duty launches on Friday, then that'll be our third game. But yeah, so just send me down in the comment section down below of what games are you going to try out first on your Series X. But that pretty much does the video for today. This is Infernal Shard 1 for the win. So hit a like if you enjoyed this video, comment down below of your thoughts, and subscribe for those of you that are new. And we will be sure to keep you guys posted on the next video, and especially the PlayStation 5 unboxing and launch video on this coming up Thursday. So like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you on the PlayStation 5 unboxing testing out video on Thursday.